Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lee Majors again. I'm picking up where I left off as far as going into the how can I say, the aggressive part of investing as far as dealing with the stock market. So, let's get into it. Let's just say, for instance, that you got a company, right? Or you have a S&P 500 company that you want to invest into. And pretty much you want to put, your money in the company as quickly as possible. So basically what's going to have to happen is you're going to pick whatever S&P 500 company that you want, or whatever stocks that you want. The market period. All right. Now, to do it aggressively, what's going to happen is that you're going to set a certain amount. Last time I talked about small passive, which, now you up your numbers. So you graduated. You did the $265. Now we can graduate to a bigger number. You went from 265, now you could do 500. So let's just say we did 500, all right, times 12. Okay? That's $6,000 into the market. All right. Now you being a little bit more aggressive now, and you putting higher numbers into that. And what you do is that you with higher numbers that you put in, you put bigger, you pick more blue chip stocks, and you put it into the S&P. The S&P 500 pays between 15% to 16%. Between 14, 15, and 16, depending on how the market goes. It fluctuates between those numbers. There is no steady numbers, but that's good as far as whatever return that you have in there, right? Okay, cool. You put $6,000 a year in there, all right? So we got $6,000 a year that you're putting in there, okay? Times 5 years. That's $30,000, okay? So between 14, 15, and 16% on $30,000, you do the math, how much you be making each year with that, all right? And then as the years go further, if you leave it in there for 30 years, so let's just say if you put, $6,000 a year in there for the next 30 years, 6,000 times 30 years. That's $180,000 that's in the market. This is how you speed the production of your interest and points on your money, as far as dividends and everything else. The more you put in is the rate is the more of what it's going to be at $500 a month, mind you. All right. This is going a little bit aggressive. Now you could do a little small shoot here and there. So let's just say for 6 months or every not even 6 months, for every 3 months, for every 90 days, you do $500 a month every 90 days. Okay, you could do it like that. I'm just throwing out different scenarios out there, y'all, far as being aggressive. Okay, and I'm gonna use various different examples in between here about what it is to be aggressive when it comes to investing in the stock market, paying bills off, and doing it in a quick burst. Okay, so your time is money. All right, so between, and remember, like I told you before in the last joint that I did, $265 in 12 months, that's $3,180. In 5 years, that's $15,900. Okay, so you can start that small. When you graduate and you're doing that, all right, if you could muster $6,000 a year into the market, all right, and you could times that by 5, no, just say 3 years, That's $18,000 you got into the market. You can let that sit. It'll still gain interest. All right, you could drop your number. You have the option of okay, let's just say you do it up to 18,000. You could go back to doing it at $265 a month. You could do that. The main thing is you have to ask yourself before you start all this, how much money do you want to put into the market? How much are you willing to put into the market? Ask yourself that. Same thing with insurance policies. How much are you willing to put into an insurance policy? Do you want to store your money into the insurance policy? According to what you want, this is how you have to design how the way you want your money to work for you. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to build these different financial divisions for yourself with the money that you have. You don't have to work so hard. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to work so hard. And with this, when this shit is built, all you have to do is maintain it. All you have to do is maintain it, because you're locking in your wealth. You're locking in your money that you're making and bringing into the house, and it's being distributed properly. All right? So let's get back to it. So you graduated. So now $500 a month goes into the stock market. So 5 times 12, that's $6,000. Okay? That's $6,000 a month that's going into the market. By the time the year done change, it may not be 6. That 6 is probably going to move to maybe 7 or 8, depending on how the market goes. But as time rolls over, you will make money. The market will go up, it will go down. You will make money as this go on. So that number will not stay the same. All right. That's just a concrete number that if you was to put $500 away, like if you was to save it, that you would have $6,000. That's no bullshit. You would have $6,000. And if you was to actually save $6,000 a year for the next 30 years, you will have $180,000. And I want you to concentrate on something like that, because people think that it's hard, to put away for your Social Security. I mean, if you can go to work and work for somebody for 30 and 40 years, this is the shit that you need to be doing when you have to put away your funds. You understand what I'm saying? You can pay until your retirement. There's nothing wrong with that. You can pay until your retirement. You can actually help yourself in the future. So in the present time now, you could do for what you need to do in the future. Right now, I'm in my 40s. All right. By the time I hit 60 and 70, I've been putting away money for myself for a very long time to take care of myself in the future. All right. So this is how you have to think. You have to think 10, 12 years ahead. You have to think 50 steps ahead. All right. Not just 50, 100 steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? You have to be ahead of the game. You have to think about the next 3 months or the next 4 months or what you're going to do in the next 10 months. So you always have to think like that. The more you think ahead and the more you prepare, the more smoothly your time would run across. You know what I'm saying? You not saying that you won't have no problems. You will, but they won't be as catastrophic as it would have been if you did not prepare like the way that you were supposed to. Okay, now, so we talking $6,000 a year. $6,000 a year is not really a whole lot of money for real. But over time, and you always know it's the difference between the sprinter and the long distance runner. It's $180,000. That is one half. You know what I'm saying? That is one like almost shit, man. 4% of $1 million. If not 4%, maybe 3% of $1 million. $180,000 is. You know what I'm saying? If it's not that, it might be shorter than that. But The thing is, it's 180,000. It's $1,000. 180 of them motherfuckers. I mean, shit. And it took you 30 years to save that. So look at that. So, you know, and as older as you get, that 180,000, the interest that it would get can pay you maybe $25,000 a year because of the potential earning power that it has and its totality of it being in that stock market engine. So you don't never ever want to lose your compounding power. See, interest is real big in this country. And the more you study what interest is, the better you can get yourself out of debt and the better that you can turn the game around. You understand what I'm saying? The better you can be able to use this. See, we just now catching up in the game, you know, with all of this. This is just a side note of me speaking of how important it is to know what interest is and to know what dividends is. You have to know what all these things mean. And you have to do your research, you know, what all these things mean. It take money to make money. It take time to make time, right? But if you manage your time wisely, you can pace yourself. You don't have to burn yourself out. You understand what I'm saying? It's only but so much money that you can save. The key main thing is your dollars are worth how much and what you put them in. I'd rather have more businesses or invest in more businesses than have cash. I'm going to say this again. I'd rather invest in more businesses or have more businesses than have cash. You understand what I'm saying? Because the businesses produces the cash. The more businesses that we have, the more that we can regulate how this thing with society goes, and the more jobs that we can provide for people, and it just progressively grows and everything like that. So the stock market is a place, okay, where we can invest and put our money into these companies that already serves us. There's a lot of positivity come through that. You know what I mean? People want to really actually give a negative notion of this shit because they don't want to compete. But if a black man could go out there and sell whatever kind of drugs, nigga, you taking a high ass risk anyway. You risking your whole motherfucking life. See, y'all gotta understand that they want as less pressure far as the competition is concerned as much as possible. You know, they want to easily win. We never get a fair shake. So I'm showing you cats on how, you know what I'm saying, to really actually get a fair shake within investing into yourself. We use different products. You understand what I'm saying? We go to the CVS's. It ain't no different. You know what I'm saying, than how we sold drugs on the street. The stock market is. You just have to know what the meanings of this, that, and the other, and et cetera, is, and what the numbers mean. But, you know, I mean, you buy chicken to sell chicken. To do nothing but buy chicken to sell chicken. And then how, depending on how good the product is and how much is moving, you know, if a chicken place makes, because I've sold chicken, so that's why I'm using that as an example. So if a chicken place sell good food and the chicken is good, that's where you're going to go at. That's where you're going to go at. Same thing with crackheads. If the coke good on the block or certain blocks, they going to pump. Same thing with niggas who sell dope. It's lucrative business. They buy dope to sell more dope, to buy dope to sell more dope. And you keep buying it. So you buy stock to have more stock to sell, to buy more, to sell more, to buy more, to make more money. This is where you keep your money at. Now, depending on your research on what you do with the company, is only going to determine. Now, if you did a financial analysis on the activity rate, find out how much employees that they got, find out the performance of the company or whatever, would it be something that you would like to buy into? Then that's what you gauge it off of. And you wait 2-3 years. You buy into it. You cannot, there's no such thing as a no risk situation. You cannot. The only way you're going to know about buying and selling shit or dealing with the stock market is that you have to get into it. All right. But not to stray off the topic, but if you're trying to, make at least close to $1 million in a 10-year time frame, it is achievable. Like I said, if you do $500 a month, it's achievable now for a year. That's $6,000. Since the market is making money, you have to tack on interest with that too, if you put this amount of money in there. So we do $6,000 times 10. All right? That's $60,000. Let's just say you don't put no more money into the market and just let it sit for another 10 years. There go your $500,000 right there. Because all it's going to do is just collect interest. Because people is using the money. And the companies is paying you a percentage of their profits for them letting you use the money. That's why these credit cards be having people in debt. You use somebody else's money and they charge you for it. Whoop-de-fucking-do. This is what the fuck is going on. It's no complex shit about this. Even in jail, when they use, you got niggas building stores inside of there. They have their own economics, and their jail is a prime example. Oodles and noodles is worth a certain value. Coffee is worth a certain value. Cigarettes are worth a certain value. All right? Because you can't get to that shit, so the demand goes up for it. It's a certain amount of risk that takes, so that's the value. Supply and demand. In jail, it's a luxury to have multiple packs of oodles and noodles. I give it to them brothers in there. They made a way to stimulate an economy in there to where as though that they can survive in there. So we all creative. All right? I'll give you one prime example. Okay? You purchase a stock now for your kid or whatever. And let's just say, you may have you may have bought Apple. All right? And you just been buying up Apple stock from your kid could be like 2 years old, and you buy Apple stock for the next 18 years. And you give it to your kid. Apple will make money. And you can sell those shares. All right? So let's just say if you got 18,000 shares of Apple, right? You don't sell all the shares. Not unless you don't want to deal with the company no more. But you have rights as a stockholder. You never sell, your ownership because you want to make money off of this. Well, they say, well, what happened if the stock market crash? Well, fuck it. Let it crash. That's why you have your other systems of investments that you have. You should have an emergency fund. You should have 6 months of your income put away just in case if that shit happened. You always supposed to have a contingency plan, an emergency for another emergency that back up another emergency. That's how niggas should be able to be, that's how a motherfucker should be able to think. Word up. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not really a hard thing with this. Okay? So, you purchase 18,000, you buy Apple stock, you got 18,000 shares of Apple stock, and you want to finance something. So you sell 3,000 shares, and you buy whatever car, you pay whatever mortgage or whatever like that. You do this thing called a buyback. Wait for 30 days and buy back the 3,000 that you actually sold to do nothing but to do the same shit again. This is the shit that they don't tell you. When you're up, you're up. The market is going to go down and up, but you still have a choice. You still can finance shit. You don't move out of your house. If the house market, if your house value goes down, you just don't do that shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's just something that you just don't do. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, you as a shareholder have a certain amount of, how can I say, rights. You know what I'm saying? A certain amount of, how can I say, what they say, and the votes. Shit. You can suggest the direction on where the company needs to go at. I mean, there's many different things as a shareholder. You know what I'm saying? You're an owner. You're owner of that business. And the more that you own, the more say that you do have in that if you go to their meetings. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill Gates owns 6% of Coca-Cola. Think about it. Coca-Cola make $1.8 billion a year selling motherfucking soda. So you too, you know what I'm saying? If you own 450 million shares of fucking Starbucks, your word is born. You know what I'm saying? On that. You can call up like such and such. Yeah, I own a certain amount. You can call the chairboard, shareholders. When they make a profit, they have to pay you. That's the beauty about investing. That's the beauty about it. But as the individual, you have to be disciplined with that shit. I was speaking on one of my other joints too about having the different categories. You know what I'm saying? As far as the emergency fund, doing the letter system also within the house too. When you attach that system, because I got 5 different systems that I do that are all spread out that is well connected to each other of these different type of engines, and I fund all of these different systems. That's why I could take the money from a small amount and then I could triple it, and quadruple it in a good amount of time. And see, compounding is quick and fast. Interest is quick and fast. It's very, very quick and fast. Dude, if you have $3 million into the stock market, that's $60,000 a year that you make, and that's somebody else's salary right there. So as a retiree or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you could actually live off of $60,000 a year as long as you don't touch the money from being able to compound like the way it's compounded, and you let that shit sit there. Yeah, you could do that. Even if the market was to go down, what the fuck do you do? When it goes down, buy more shit. It is a place where your money can work. It is a place where your money can work. You understand what I'm saying? The banks, as far as bank investment, the banks need money. Their commodity is money. And I'm just telling you what all these financial institutions is for. You dig what I'm saying? These are financial institutions that have certain different responsibilities. A bank ain't gonna pay you that much. But I will say this. The best thing you could do for a bank, if you're banking with a bank or whatever, when you do business with a bank, you have to invest into the bank that you're banking into. Purchase CDs. If you're going to keep your money in that bank, make sure that they pay you for it. Bonds, bank bonds. This is all shit to keep your money busy. If you're going to keep over $100,000 in the bank, make sure that you purchase CDs that they pay you for keeping your money in their banks. Make sure that whatever interest earned accounts that they got, find out what them shits is, and then put your money in there. CDs, all of that shit. All right? And buy and purchase stock into the bank. That's what you call bank investing. A lot of people only know the paycheck, the money market accounts. They really don't know shit about what banking is. You understand what I'm saying? You pay a bank, they charge you to hold your money. You you pay a bank to hold your money, and they charge you for it. I want that to marinate in your psyche for a second. All right, you paying these people, bro, to hold your money for you, and you pay them a maintenance fee. Not just only you, but they may have over at least 10,000 customers that's paying $8. That's $800,000 that the bank is receiving from that, and then not telling the overdraft fees and all that. So they're making money hand in fist. So you're paying them for some shit that you could actually do yourself. That's the downside of it when you look at it like that. The upside of it is that if you're doing business with that bank, right, and depending on how much capital you got in there, it's a little thing that we call leverage. You can leverage the capital that you have in there with them, and they can pay for itself. So yeah, if you got $100,000 in there, they'll give you credit, and they will give you credit. They'll give you a line of credit or whatever. They'll give you various different things, you know what I'm saying, that you could use by you leveraging that kind of money that you have up in there. You understand what I'm saying? And not only that, they'll help you, you know, get you a crib. You just have to know how that shit works. You know what I'm saying? It's all about leverage. If you yourself could actually save capital, enough capital, if you're good at saving enough capital, all right, the most I ever saved in my life, combined all together, was like, I say in cash, total, was like $65,000 total. I did like, $30,000 and some change twice in cash total, and not counting now. I mean, it's more than that now, but I did it in maybe like 2 to 3 parts in my life expectancy. Like, you know what I'm saying, in my early 20s, you know, I did a certain amount. Like when I was in my teens or whatever, like when I was like between 15, 16, and 17, I saved up $3,000 in cash. You know what I'm saying? Like when I left home or whatever. I was always good within letting my money pile up, you know what I'm saying, and sitting on it or whatever. I was always good at that or whatever. So, you know, like I would take a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. That's how I built my discipline with being able to allow my money to roll over and compound on its own. So I would take, you know, I did the 15, 18, you know what I'm saying, and 80% type of shit or whatever, where I would take different percentages. I would put 15% of this shit away, and that 15% that you put away every month adds up at the end of the year. So you get put in a more doper position, you know, and you be prepared if some shit was to go down. You have that 15% each month that you put away. You know what I'm saying? So that's making your money work for you too. You rotating your money to work for you and to cover whatever, but not to stray off a topic. When it comes to banking, you have to know how to bank. You have to know that, all right, when you do business with a bank, their shit is about capital. Why? Because they're going to loan your money out, and they're going to lean the loan on your money. Like I got money with Bank of America right now, but I also own shares in Bank of America. I own shares in Bank of America. And I'm doing business with Bank of America. So I'll have a certain amount of capital in Bank of America, but also at the same time, the trade-off is they gonna pay me, I pay them, they pay me, it pays for itself. We're in business together. We make money together. Why? Because I purchase and invest into the bank itself. So I unlock certain amounts of money into the bank. They pay me interest for it. When I need it, I'll just use it as leverage. I don't have to touch it because the interest on what they paying me to use the money will pay for it. I just keep rolling it over. This is like a CD. You put $25,000 away, right? You probably make $768 a year in interest off of doing a 5-year CD at $25,000. Well, you roll that shit over every 5 fucking years. And that 700 and that 700 and $68 will turn into 14 something. And you just keep rolling it over. And keep rolling over and keep rolling over and keep rolling over. 30 years pass, you done made every bit of 115,000 off of that 25 within 20 years. That's just one investment that you actually can do. But it's many different shits that you can do where it can pay for itself. See, when you invest into these institutions, they have to pay you to do that. You just have to ask about it. And then you have to be on your ding with putting your money in the correct source. Because, if you don't distribute your income correctly, which is your wealth building tool, by the way, your income. If your income is being compromised, you can't do it. If you paying higher interest somewhere, you can't do it. All right? So that's why I said you can start off slow passive. Okay? Well, I'm going to cut out. This is Lee Majors on the aggressive investment.